Hi, Geminis, and welcome to your October 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I will be doing some intuitive messages for you, along with a week-to-week tarot forecast and an extended reading on Patreon. I'm excited to dive into the month for you all. I apologize if there are any construction noises. There is construction happening around me right now. Hopefully it won't come through too much. Okay, Geminis, let's talk about you intuitively this month. What I'm feeling is that you are perhaps going to be faced with quite a few people who have changed. Okay, so you might have been changing a lot recently, but now it's your turn to see other people change, or now it's your turn to witness the changes of others. So try to not get too freaked out if you see a lot of relationships really changing up in the month of October. We have Mars moving through your sign of Gemini and turning retrograde. And that's going to be playing out for many months to come. In fact, all the way until January of 2023, we're going to have Mars, going back and forth in your sign. So for some people, you might be seeing in your life, like there's like a losing of the mind, or there's something really crazy that can come up during this time that you kind of have to stay sane through. So you find yourself like having to perhaps be the strong person in the group, or you have to be the decision maker. With Mars going through your sign, it makes you very powerful within your circle. So you're kind of like a mediating or a kind of overseer of a lot of things happening in your experience right now. And that's going to amp up through the month of October and grow. As I'm looking at your spread, you've got this 10 of Wands, this 9 of Swords reversed coming up. So there's like this feeling with the 4 of Swords reversed as well of what have I signed myself up for? What am I doing? Why am I being faced this way by other people? Why are other people coming at me with this, or coming so strongly on to my case? So you could have like people in October and even from September kind of like getting on to you, or trying to correct you. There could be like a lot of criticisms, and I feel that maybe you have to stop taking these criticisms to heart, and you have to like actually get to the bottom of like what you want to do and be willing to do that now. I see you really working to get back to your center, and really working to make things easier and more optimized in your life. Mercury was retrograde in Virgo, your fellow Mercury-ruled sign, for pretty much the entire month of September. And I also feel that as that goes direct and really gets out of its shadow by about the middle of the month of October, things are going to really clear up for you. But there could be like discord or chaos that you just have to kind of like prove to yourself that you're still a peace-seeking or solid standing person. I feel that Gemini is one of the few signs right now that's really being tested on like, can you stand up to your values? Can you hold strong to who you are? And can you maintain like dignity and decorum, even in the face of chaotic or even like rude people? So I just want you guys to know that that's one of my main intuitive messages for you in October, is like not succumbing to other people's pettiness. Okay. And also not being afraid to let problems or difficult dynamics have their own life, and to not feel like you're responsible or liable for what it does, or also liable for the words of other people or the opinions of other people. I do see some Geminis really struggling with like, oh my gosh, how do I set the record straight? How do I get people to know my truth? How do I make sure that there aren't like lies or chaos? I mean, you can't make sure, okay? And there's a really great clarity moment for Geminis when they realize, okay, I actually don't have to control what other people think about me. I don't have to be in charge of various narratives in the lives of other people. I can just have my experience. And I do feel that maybe there was an overextension. Maybe that's why we're seeing this 10 of Wands and this 9 of Swords reversed. Because like maybe you really were taking the brunt of like other people's karma, like making yourself responsible, or taking liability yourself for things that are not your problem. And it's like putting too much onto your plate, or it's making you be like overloaded or overwhelmed with information. Like this has to stop in October. And you've got to remember what you do and don't have control over, and also really see to what degree you have lost or lacked because you lost sleep or spent your valuable life force energy trying to get other people to change their minds, or trying to basically like proselytize other people, or getting other people onto your cause. Okay. I feel that October of 2022 really has you allowing people to come to you instead of you trying to work with other people. Okay. There's a very magnetic energy coming in for you. There's a very magnanimous energy coming in for you. And that's going to be where your positivity lies this month. Not so much in trying to fight with other people. So, especially anything that's like inter-family feud, or negative relationship dynamics between people who have been together for a long time. That's becoming very prominent in the month of October, and for two reasons. The first reason being that there's a complete switch up in relationship hierarchy happening across the board right now. And then the second reason being because there was like a major stagnation, and people have to like kind of really wake up and see where things are now here in October of 2022, because there's kind of this like lag, I feel, where people aren't up to date with who each other is. Okay, so people are not like maybe in the present, like there's a lot of past projection. So who we once were, like maybe 8 to 10 years ago, is maybe still being projected upon us, and maybe we've changed. This creates a lot of chaos, and I feel that for Gemini, you can really be a harbinger of update basically here, where you can also like really help people to work through things or to get up to date themselves. But it shouldn't be something that is your responsibility, or something that you do as a default, almost as if other people are owed it from you. Okay, if that makes sense, being able to find that balance. Finally, Gemini, for your last intuitive message of October, I am feeling that you are really desiring a new investment of time. Okay, sorry if this is lagging out a little bit, Gemini. The messages are coming through a bit slowly. I feel that you can't just keep doing the same old things anymore. Okay, so you will feel this also really strongly, and this can come through like even stress injuries. So like things that you've been doing repetitiously in a cycle forever now. What it takes to do that can start to become challenged here, and it kind of inspires you to use your body in a different way, or to use the resources that you do have differently. Okay, so for some people that's rebranding. For some people that's like just a completely different kind of work. And also the astrology is actually really favorable for you to just kind of naturally start moving to where you need to be, and for it not to be like that hard or risky feeling. But just pay attention to where you're overdoing it. Okay, pay attention to where things are too hard. Pay attention to where also you feel like you wish you were doing something else, or you wish that that wasn't what you were doing, or you don't feel that you want to be where you currently are. Oh my God, Gemini, that is a just like overrunning cup of incredible energy for you. I don't know how to put it, but that moment when you're in a situation that you've painstakingly created for yourself and you don't want to be there. Okay, that's something we really have to see here, because that's a big demonstration of the Saturn-Uranus square that happened at the beginning of October on the 4th, and stretches out until about, I would say, the end of November, really, once we get through all these eclipses. And yes, PSA Geminis, we are having eclipses in the sign of Scorpio this year, so that's something to really be prepared for, regardless of what zodiac sign we are. So I hope that you guys are ready for that, because that's a quincunx angle for you, and you're going to really be seeing what's kind of like square peg in a round hole, or what isn't maybe fitting well. And that's not something that you need to get frustrated and upset about, but it's nice to know also when things aren't working right too. Okay, so let's talk about your week-to-week Gemini for October. Week number 1, you have the 4 of Pentacles rooted down by the 10 of Wands. Okay, so sometimes you just have to do the hard stuff in a more comfortable way. In fact, Geminis, you can do what I'm doing right now. Instead of sitting up at my desk with my fancy equipment, I am lying down and speaking into my smartphone, because it's been a heavy month, Geminis. You guys might have to do the same. I don't recommend it. Like I'm kind of joking here, but like sometimes we have to just get comfortable and get ourselves through our commitments, until such a time that you feel that you want to rework it or make it better. But Four of Pentacles is about stillness. It's about conservation. It's about holding on to what you have. As you can see, the person, their feet are not moving. They're firmly on the pentacles, and they're holding a pentacle, and then there's a pentacle on their head. Pentacles are everywhere. They're not moving. They're drowning in the pentacles. Okay, maybe you're having that experience, but what does it take to have that experience? Like, is Ten of Wands worth it? Is that posture and that ability to see the forest for the trees, is that worth that feeling of having all this pentacles energy so near and so available? For some people it is, but we do have to understand, I just think that's such a good combination of archetypes for learning right now. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to to labor so hard for this financial well-being or whatever it is, and to kind of not be able to see very far ahead because of that, because we're so like bogged down in repetition. As you can see, the person in the Ten of Wands, I don't know, like they can't even see. I don't even think they're on a path, honestly. They're like carrying all that stuff and they can't see in front of them. I mean, by the grace of God, there's not like a cliffside there, but the posture isn't good. There's no path there. And it doesn't really seem like it has to happen, but also you wonder why they don't have help. You wonder why the person in Ten of Wands doesn't have more assistance, why they're taking all that on themselves. Like, why? It must be some kind of hardship. So again, when we have these rewards that come from hardship, it does create a bit of a crux, doesn't it? Like, do we recreate hardship to continue rewards? I don't like that cycle, and I think that we need to start breaking that here in the near future. Week number 2, you have the Four of Swords reversed, rooted down by the Nine of Swords reversed. That's exhausted. That's exhaustive energy. You will have that after Ten of Wands. Four of Wands and Nine of Swords both depict the bed, okay? Even in the Four of Swords, it could be considered the coffin, but, it's also kind of like a bed. There is something that's way harder than it has to be, and you have to kind of figure out how to make this all easier, and it's probably not rocket science. But I think that with both of those being reversed, it says maybe you're not really giving yourself enough rest or recovery time. And also, the things that might have you losing sleep, or the things that might have you keeping you up at night, may not really be that big of a deal. So there could also be an intensification of negative outcomes, or there could be a kind of like a paranoid feeling of like, oh my gosh, what bad thing is going to happen to me next? I would think that would be coming from a lack of rest or a lack of proper recovery, and it's like leading your body maybe to like think this way about things. Week number 3, Gemini's the Sun, rooted down by the Ace of Swords. Okay, beautiful. So Scorpio season comes in. That's also the week that we have the first eclipse, which I will be making a video about on my channel. Keep an eye out for that. I like that. That is quite a homecoming for you, okay? You are totally re-expressing ideas that you haven't had for a long time. So old ideas that you have scrapped, things that you didn't think that you would ever do, careers you never thought that you had, things you didn't think would work can now work, Gemini. And this is like a crazy thing that I'm seeing for all the signs this month. It's like, oh my gosh, I never thought that I could do that. And now it's like totally available and open to me. So there's this kind of weird phenomenon happening where people have like these really big, like bulky, ambitious goals. And like as they kind of like climb that Ten of Swords ladder and like kind of inch closer and closer to that, it's crazy how like these other things that you wanted long ago that you couldn't really let yourself move towards just kind of like manifest without you trying. And I think that that's going to be happening to you all in the third week. So prepare for your dreams, even ones that you might have not thought about for a while. Prepare for those to be working with you in a different way and perhaps more available than they've been. Week number 4, you have the Two of Cups rooted down by the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, it's better. I like these week 3 and week 4 more than I like week 1 and week 2. So again, there's like a relationship that grows as you zoom out more. I like Seven of Pentacles instead of Ten of Wands. If you could step more into Seven of Pentacles and kind of oversee all of the stuff that's growing in your life rather than, getting so bogged down in it that you can't even see to put one foot in front of the other. I like that more. So you might even have relationships grow as you do that. You might build on the relationship with yourself as you give yourself more breathing room. As I think the month of October for you, Gemini, is all about introducing to yourself a bit more breathing room. And let's talk more about that in your extended reading on Patreon, Gemini. I will get supporting themes, central themes, and significator cards for you all. And we'll talk more about your month ahead. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great month. Bye.